esteemed viewers. Good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from. This is Daily Digest on esteemed Radio Vision. I am Chidima Abel. I will be starting with the Punch News headlines this morning. Insecurity, anxiety as NYSC camps open in high-risk state. Thousands of prospective corps members and their families are apprehensive as the 2026 Batch A Stream 1 orientation exercise of the National Youth Service Corps commences across the country, particularly in states plagued by bandit attacks, kidnappings, and bomb scares. From Zamfara to Kaduna, Borno, Yobe, Plateau, and Katsina states, corps members embarking on the 21-day orientation face long and fearful journeys, even as officials insist that all mayors are in place to ensure their safety. The anxiety comes amid a surge in terrorist attacks, killings, mass abductions, and bomb scares that have gripped the northern parts of the country in recent weeks. From the Punch News headlines, we get a full story waiting for you. Also from the Punch this morning, we clean Lagos, but they treat us like trash. Loma sweepers. We clean Lagos, but they treat us like trash. Loma sweepers. Street sweepers employed by the Lagos State Waste Management Authority have raised fresh concerns over what they described as persistent harassment, discrimination, and unsafe working conditions on Lagos roads, recounting daily experiences of verbal abuse, intimidation, and neglect by motorists, residents, and roadside traders. The sweepers shared their stories during a recent episode of the Mariah Show, which celebrated their work and amplified the challenges they face in keeping the city clean. Several of the workers said they are often treated with disdain by members of the public, despite providing what they described as an essential service to the state. Kafilat, one of the sweepers, narrated frequent confrontation with motorists who spoke indiscriminately along major roads. Another sweeper, Olatitoye Adeola, lamented how residents bring refuse from their homes and dump it on cleared roads long after Loma trucks have evacuated waste. From the Punch, we get a full story waiting for you. Moving ahead, on the Vanguard this time, our Majiri system must end in 5 years or risk regional collapse. Group, Amajiri system must end in 5 years or risk regional collapse. This is coming from a group, the Foundation for Peace Professionals, known as Peace Pro, has warned that Nigeria's worsening insecurity will remain unresolved unless the Amajiri system is decisively dismantled within the next 5 years, cautioning that continued neglect could destabilize not only Nigeria, but the wider West African sub-region. The warning was issued by Peace Pro's Executive Director, Abdulrazak Hamzat, following an extensive fact-finding and stakeholder engagement tour across 7 states in northern Nigeria, where the organization consulted on security and the Amajiri crisis. Hamzat said the tour expose a disturbing pattern of normalized child abandonment, often justified on cultural and religious grounds, which has produced millions of socially excluded children and continues to fuel banditry, extremism, and organized criminal violence. He described the crisis as a composite failure, cutting across all layers of the society. Peace Pro warned that failure to eradicate the Amajiri system within 5 years could result in an uncontrollable spread of insecurity beyond Nigeria's border. From the Vanguard, you will get a full story waiting for you. Still on the Vanguard this morning, Nnamdi Kanu conferred honorary Georgia citizenship, named Goodwill Ambassador. Nnamdi Kanu conferred honorary Georgia citizenship, named Goodwill Ambassador. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been conferred with honorary citizenship of the state of Georgia, United States of America. Kanu was also adopted as an outstanding citizen to be accorded every courtesy as a Goodwill Ambassador from Georgia. The proclamation was made by Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger on behalf of the Republican-controlled U.S. states. According to the proclamation letter dated January 16, 2026, the honor was presented on Friday, January 23, 2026, in Milledgeville, one of Georgia's capital cities, by a state representative, Gap Okoye. Former Consul General of Nigeria in South Africa, Ambassador Uche Ajulo-Okeke, received the certificate on Kanu's behalf and acknowledged the gesture by the state of Georgia. She described the imprisoned Biafra independence activist as Africa's most famous political prisoner and a global prisoner of conscience. The proclamation reads in part, all right, Kanu is currently serving a life sentence at a correctional facility in Sokoto following his conviction by Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja. From the Vanguard, you will get a full story waiting for you. Still on the Nation this morning. All right, moving away from the Vanguard and onto the Nation this morning. Royal family members, traditionalists protest alleged plot to impose candidates. Traditionalists and hundreds of members of Fuseng Buwa ruling house of Ijebu land yesterday stormed Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetona Akwe and marched to the Ijebu Ode local government headquarters in thorough protest over alleged plot by powerful interests to force the next Awujale on the kingmakers, the Fuseng Buwa house and the Ijebu nation. The Awujale stool became vacant on July 13, 2025, following the demise of Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetona, who joined his ancestors at 91 after 65 years on the throne. Fuseng Buwa is the next in line to produce the next Awujale, and the Nation report that the Ogun State government had in a circular dated January 20, 2026 stopped the kingmakers from taking further steps to select a candidate out of the 95 nominees earlier submitted to them by leaders of the Fuseng Buwa ruling house, Otumba Lateef Owoyemi, Prince Adetokun Ajigagba, Deputy Oloriebi, and Professor Fasi Yusuf, Vice Chairman. From the Nation, you will get a full story waiting for you. Now, still on the Nation this morning, panic in FCT community as 27-year-old woman slums, dies in boyfriend's house. Resident of Diede Biwari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, were thrown into confusion as a 27-year-old woman, Esther Akwaji, was reported to have collapsed and died in mysterious circumstances. Akwaji was said to have died at her boyfriend's house while eating. Findings revealed that the deceased boyfriend, whose identity was yet to be confirmed, allegedly fled shortly after the incident, sparking suspicion and prompting police investigation. From the Nation, it was gathered that Akwaji, a resident of Nasarawa State, had traveled to Abuja to visit family members. On January 21, she reportedly left her family's home, telling relatives that she was going to a bank in Dede, but she never returned. Hours later, family members were reportedly contacted by a man who identified himself as Esther's boyfriend using her mobile phone. From the Nation, you will get a full story waiting for you. Now, moving ahead. Still on the Nation this morning, Nigerian held for 6 weeks in Qatar cries for federal government help. Nigerian held for 6 weeks in Qatar cries for federal government help. A Nigerian by the name Gideon Eze, detained for 6 weeks in Doha, Qatar's capital, has cried out to the federal government and its relevant agencies to intervene in his case to reverse the injustice done to him. Eze's lawyer, Inibe Effiong, said Eze had boarded Qatar Airways flight from Abuja to the United States on May 7, 2025, but had his trip aborted in Doha due to a profiling and mistreatment incident that resulted from a routine airport security check. Effiong said during the check, security officials claimed to have found items they suspected to be illicit drugs, but which turned out to be false alarm after being subjected to series of tests. He said the tests included chemical swabs, machine analysis, and tongue testing, as well as 2 complete searches of my checked luggage and a full strip search, adding that every single test result was negative for narcotics. Eze, who spoke alongside his lawyer, said despite the clear evidence of his innocence, the Qatari security personnel escalated the situation. From The Nation, you will get a full story waiting for you. Now moving ahead. Still on The Nation, violence across Nigeria affects people of all faiths. Presidency. Violence across Nigeria affects people of all faiths. Presidency. The presidency yesterday dismissed claims that Nigeria's insecurity is driven by religious targeting, insisting that violence across the country affects people of all faiths and should not be framed as a religious war. The senior special assistant to the president on chieftaincy matters, Honorable Abba Tijani Hashim, said this during an interaction with the Methodist Archbishop of Anambra, Most Reverend Vincent Ono, as part of ongoing engagement between government officials and religious leaders on peace, unity, and national stability. Hashim cautioned that narratives portraying Nigeria's security challenges as genocide or faith-based conflicts risk deepening divisions and undermining national cohesion at a critical time for the country. From The Nation, you will get a full story waiting for you. Moving ahead. Now we are on this day news headlines. Court bars VDM. Doris Ogala from referencing Pastor Okafor and his church. Justice Akintunde Savage of the Lagos State High Court in Ikeja yesterday restrained social media influencer Martins Vincent Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man VDM, and actress Doris Ogala, and one Kelvin Chimobi Emmanuel from further mentioning or referring to Dr. Chris Okafor or his church or ministry on any platform pending the determination of a substantive suit filed by the cleric. Okafor is a claimant in the suit marked ID and the rest, while Doris Ogala, Very Dark Man, and Kelvin Emmanuel are listed as the first to third defendant respectively. The ex parte application was brought pursuant to Order 43, Rules 1, 2, and 7 of the High Court of Lagos State Civil Procedure, Rules 2019, as well as under the court's inherent jurisdiction. In his ruling on the application filed by Dr. Okafor through his counsel, Mr. Ife Ajayi, Justice Savage also barred the defendants and their agents from publishing, releasing, or circulating any alleged private materials relating to the claimant, including chats, conversation, text messages, pictures, images, or videos. From this day, you will get a full story waiting for you. Now, moving ahead, still on this day, this is where we'll be wrapping up the show this morning. I'm not for sale, says Kwankwaso as Governor Yusuf resigns from NNPP. I'm not for sale, says Kwankwaso as Governor Yusuf resigns from NNPP. Coming from this day amid mounting political realignment in Kano State, which culminated yesterday in Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf's resignation from the New Nigeria People's Party NNPP. The party's national leader and 2023 presidential candidate, Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso, has insisted that he is not for sale, urging his supporters to begin preparing for the 2027 elections. The governor resigned from the NNPP, taking with him all the party's political structure in the state, including all members of the State Assembly, members of the National Assembly, and all local government legislators. But reacting to the development at his Kano residence shortly after Governor Yusuf's resignation, Kwankwaso, leader of the Kwankwasia movement, the platform on which the governor rode to victory in 2023, said the struggle has always been about the emancipation of ordinary Nigerians from the difficult conditions they currently face. He urged party supporters to mobilize and prepare ahead of 2027. Meanwhile, the governor and his supporters are yet to officially announce the political party he will be joining. It is obvious that they are moving to the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC), as he has been discussing with the leadership of the party in the past weeks, which culminated in him visiting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Aso Rock a few days ago, where the duo met behind closed doors and kept their discussions under wraps. Governor Yusuf cited ongoing internal conflict and a desire to prioritize the welfare of the state citizens as reasons for the decision. The resignation was disclosed in a statement issued yesterday by the Director General, Media and Publicity, Government House, Kano, Sanusi Bature Dawakin Tofa. It's revealed that the governor resigned from the NNPP alongside 21 members of the Kano State House of Assembly, 8 members of the House of Representatives, and all the 44 local government chairmen across the states. Alright, this is where we're wrapping up the show this morning on Daily Digest. Do well to leave a comment for us in the comment section. Like and share. At this point, I want to say thank you to our viewers. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for choosing Esteem Radio Vision. I also want to appreciate our CEO in the person of Dickie Michael Adeboye Ashaolu, the founder of the Nyakponle Foundation and Esteem Radio Vision. Thank you so much, sir. And to our producer, Ayomiko, thank you. Until I come your way again, I still remain Chidima Abel. Bye for now.